is wired and how their informations of the in the companies are being stored, right? So the business scenario is that it's going to contain the customer informations, the employees information, the products that the companies are selling, the orders made by the customers, the other details, as well as the relationships between the entities, right? So I'm going to create a new data set, a new database like this, and I'm going to write create. How should I name my database? Okay, create business. Yeah, let's talk it out business. Sorry, that was a mistake. Yeah, create database. I have to specify that I'm using. Okay, this is not Postgres. This is not SQL. But that's still, you can just right click on this and click on create and click on database. Can you do the same as well? Right click on the database, the drop down, click
Mhm.
on create and click on database. And you want to name it
Okay.
business. And
Database.
you name your database as business. And
Mhm.
then you save it. So as you can see, our database has been created.
So when
Yes,
I hit create database
yes,
and I create the business database,
yeah.
it still has the
Yeah,
sample
because
database
sample
information
informations
in
were the
here.
one we were working with yesterday. So we are working with a new separate database right now.
Right. Right. But I didn't get like
Yeah,
a you
so
got a blank
yeah. All
sheet.
right. So
You got
I
a new
clicked
canvas.
on. Okay, I'm coming. Where was the one we were working with yesterday? It should be this one. All right. So I clicked on the new query tab on workspace. This like we did yesterday. You can click on this.
Oh, hold on, let me create to a
Yeah,
workplace.
query to
Mhm.
workspace. And it's going to get you a new query tab. And then
Oh, this said let's connect to the server.
um, what about this particular? Okay, can you share me your screen? Though? Let me see. Oh yeah. Okay, I think I know what to do.
Yeah.
Um, right click on the business. Right click on the business database that we created, and click on query to. Yeah, that should work.
Mhm.
All right.
Got you.
So we are working on ER diagram, right? I'm going to be
Yep.
clicking on the ERD for database. So I'm going to click on it.
Right click.
Yes.
ERD for database. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to click on this add section to add my table. Yeah, exactly, because I said
Add
ERD is
table.
a collection of entities or tables, while the columns are the attributes. So are we on the same page?
Okay.
So the first table we are going to be
Mm-hmm.
adding is going to be the customer table. So customer and the schema. Okay, leave it as public. I'm going to save it. Okay. Um, coming. It remains the colon. Yeah. So it remains the colon. So you click on this particular colon, like after you've created a table, click on this colon and click on this plus icon to add new row. So
I created the table. And I click
yeah, exactly. And click on colon.
edit table. No.
Yes. And
Edit
click on
table.
colon, like coming this.
Edit table didn't bring me
Then
to
click on
that
column.
though. Oh,
Then click
click
on
on
this
column.
plus
Okay, cool, cool,
icon.
cool. Click on column.
Then you
Mm-hmm.
want to get your to name your customer underscore ID
On the plus.
primary key and not null. And data type it should be, as you can see, there are lots of data type. So you can just write integer because that's what you're working with. And click on this integer. All right. And then you click on the plus icon again. And now
Integer.
we want
Mm-hmm.
the first name. First name.
Okay.
And this time around, we want it to be a virtual. I'm going to just type it virtual like we did 50. Okay, probably should just select it manually. Okay, virtual is not here.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Virtua isn't popping up on mine.
Okay, I'm coming. So I'm going to click on character variant. This one. Now I'm going to type 50. Sorry, character variant. I'm coming.
Character
Or probably
varying
just click on
50.
character variant. Yeah, that should work.
Oh, character
Trying to
varying.
get. Sorry. Okay. So in the length of position colon, we are going to enter 50.
So,
Not
oh,
yeah,
before you advance,
exactly. So not null
what's the
basically
not
means that
null? What's the
we are
primary
not going to
key?
have empty
What's that?
values when we are trying to insert our information in the table. we must now have an empty value. So whenever we have an empty value, it's going to return an error message that this value cannot be null. Just like an Excel, okay, yeah, just like an Excel table, for example. Let's imagine it's
Gotcha.
an Excel table, and this is a name of a
Cannot be
person,
empty.
and I wrote
Gotcha.
Stanley, and I cannot leave this particular space blank. It's going to return an error because that's the way it is wired to. So I can click on another column. Then we are going to insert the last name as well. Last underscore name and character variant as well. And the length of position to 50 and not null. Sorry, this has to be last name. And then we want an okay email. Or better still, yeah, email is better for a standard company. You work with email. And we want the character variant as well. Character variant. Email cannot be longer than 30 characters. And some people do not feel comfortable putting their Gmails. So let's just leave it as it can be null. Then I think that should be all for the customer information. And then we are going to hit the save button. No, no, no.
Customer ID, first name, last name. Are
Can I
we
use a different
still using the
example?
same
Yesterday's
example from
example was
yesterday? So
about
we're not going to use
school
the.
information.
Um. Oh, this is a different example.
But today we're working with different things entirely.
Right.
Okay, so I believe you are on the same
Oh, you're working with
page.
customers.
So let's
Gotcha.
click on OK. So as you can see, our customer table has been created.
Mm-hmm.
Then it remains employees
Mm-hmm.
table. And like I said, this ER diagram is just like a visual representation of how the company stores and manage its data, their data or information basically. So it's just a breakdown of how the company is going to store their informations and how they treat their data sets and their data, sorry. All right. This public is not really doing
What's
anything.
the
It's
difference
just there
between
basically,
the
like it's
public?
not doing anything.
What is the
So when
public
you click on
and
this
then
IE, you are going to get
indicating on
the
there?
data set information, the attribute details. So when you click off this, you just get the normal, and you can see this key is representing a primary key. This customer is representing the table, as you can see,
Gotcha.
and these green icons are representing the attributes. Then we get the employee details as well. So you're going to click on add tables, right? Or you can also press Alt Shift
Gotcha.
Alt Control M, Alt Control A to get a table. So Alt Control A gets you a table without having to do it manually. So we name this table employee, right? Employee,
Gotcha.
and then we go to colons, right? Okay, I'm trying to check something though. Okay, okay, all right. So you go to colon and click on this add colon, right? And the first thing you're going to get is the employee ID, employee underscore ID, primary key, not null, and an integer, right? You then click on another add colon, And this time around, the employee first name as well. Um, Not null, but it's not a primary key, and it's going to be a varying character varying, and number of lanes 50. I'll do the same, the last name, the position, as well as the hire date, and then we get for the products. So are we on the same page? Charac- Virtual, basically. You know that we
Yeah,
discussed.
I'm sticking along
No,
with you.
character
Doing
varying
character.
means it's a character
Last
like
name is a
virtual.
character.
Not like
And
I
character
said
variant
yesterday
just
about
means
virtual, that it is a number,
not a
a total number
number.
of characters that can be either less than or equals to 50. So character varying is basically like a varying character. Ex, ex, exactly. Exactly.
Right. But that's like that's the amount of characters you can use in that space though, right? That's the length,
Yeah.
right? Right. But character varying though specifically, that data type is what just any characters, right? Like you can use a six, you can use a H, you can use a
Exactly. You're
and, you
totally
can use
getting
a
it.
pound, all
Very,
this. But
very
you can't
right.
use a
That is
pound
exactly how
with
it is.
integer. It's not a number. You can't use B with integer. It's not a number. Am I right? Right. So what's the so what's another what's another common data type that you
Okay.
would use here? Because it seems like,
All right.
I mean, just in our simple example that we're using here,
We have
obviously we're
a
using
fixed dot.
numbers
Okay, let
and
me do
like names and
coming.
stuff
I'm
like
trying to
that.
think of
What's
something.
another common
Um
data type that you might use?
okay, all right. So we have char, which is representing a
Yeah,
fixed character.
just a side question. I'm
We
not
have
trying to cut you
boolean.
off. Just a
There are a
side
lot
question
basically.
as we're
Let
exploring
me
this.
get an arrow drop down. So we have big int, big, yeah. So it should be exactly, for example, let's say we have car and we specify
When you
six
say fixed
characters.
character,
That
what do
means
you
it
mean
must
by
be
fixed
exactly six
character?
characters. You cannot have a character that is less than six or greater than six. For example, let's say we specify a character like car of three. That means you can have boy, car, fan, mat stored in the data sets, but you cannot have something like stan, because stan is four characters instead. It cannot be saved in the data set. So I believe that is understood. Oh, do I need to explain it? Okay, all right.
Is
Char basically
Nah,
char.
nah. I'm a
No,
little
I
confused.
made mention of the
I was a little.
character variant, right?
That example was
The
a little
varying character
confusing. Can you give
whereby
me
you
another
can have,
example?
different range of characters, but we specify length to it. Whereby, let's say we specify a
Mm-hmm.
particular number of characters. The characters can
Mm-hmm.
either be less than or equal to the character, right? Now, let's say we are not using char. So we are not using virtual now, we are using char. That means let's say now specify a value of or a length of 3. Then
Right.
that means that the characters are going to be saving in the data set cannot be less than or greater than 3. It must be exactly 3 characters. So let's say for example, we saved, okay, I'm going to use my Word document here to better emphasize what I'm trying to say. Okay, so Control N. All right,
Yeah.
so char. Okay, let me widen my screen a little bit. So char, 4 characters, right? So including 4 characters, which means that you can only store 4 characters and not greater than or less than 4 characters. So let's say in our scenario, we are using char, this data type, basically to save our informations. That means okay, um informations, sorry, I want to informations that can be saved in the colon. So, and we, although I said it's also known as attributes, we have we can have let's say chan, um bands, um okay, um modes. These informations can be saved because they have 4 characters, which is in line with the number of characters we saved here. But now we have information that cannot be saved, informations that cannot be saved. We have dog, sorry, should be information
Right.
that the is an uncountable noun. Sorry. Alright, we have dog, we have mongoose, koi, okay, code, you know, Stanley, because these informations cannot be saved because this is less than 4 characters, dog is less than 4 characters, mongoose obviously is more than 4 characters,
Yes.
this is more than 4 characters, this is more than 4 characters. So that is just basically the char data type. That's basically what it does. Uh okay, I can go back to my, yes,
All right. So hold on.
exactly.
Before you advance, let me ask this. Let me ask this question. So, so
Exactly.
CHR, right, is a I'm sure abbreviation for characters, right?
Yes,
Characters
exactly.
meaning digits and letters, digits and
Exactly.
alpha.
Like yeah,
And the four is the so the char four is just the character length, right?
in Excel, no. There are two different things basically. Left
So
function,
like
what
if
left
in
function
Excel it'd
does
be
is
equivalent to
extract
the left
a
function or the
specific
right
number of
function, right?
characters from a whole
Left X,
exactly
right?
from a whole word that
Okay,
has even it can have more than 12 different characters even. So, but this
one
one,
side.
yeah, basically, yeah, I think I get your point. Yeah, it should. Like it is basically like the left or right function though, but it works differently. We are extracting in left function, we are extracting our 4 characters, right? But in this particular scenario, we are the one inputting our characters. So if I get your question, the left function, like we know, okay, let me use a different I want to use a different I
So
want to use a different highlight. Yeah.
in the left function with mongoose, right? Before you go anywhere, let's just use
Exactly.
mongoose, right? The left
Exactly.
function, mongoose. If you do left and you set the value to four with mongoose, it's gonna get
Yes.
MONG, and everything else is gonna be left away. Everything else is gonna be discarded. Okay, cool. Now
Yeah,
with
it's going to be
character,
an error
with the
basically,
character,
but it's going to tell
in
you
your
that
example, character
it
four,
cannot save more than four characters.
it's
It's
not
going to,
gonna
you're going
admit
to
it
know basically,
because it's
but it's
more
not
than
going to
four
return an
characters.
error
It's gonna
message.
be either
Like
a blank
it's not
or
going to
error,
give you that
right?
okay, your query, you wrote the wrong query. It's just only going to tell you that because of your ER diagram has already specified the way you want our information to be saved, and it's also specified that these particular attributes cannot store information that are more than 4 characters. Hence, your details cannot be saved. That's just how it is basically.
Right. Got you. So to build on that question, right, and that example, I because I understand the example you just gave me, and I understand the explanation you just gave me. What so why would it use that instead of
Yeah.
character
Okay.
variance, and then you set your limit at and you set your length at 4?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm
What's the
going to write
difference
it down
between
as well.
using that
Char.
character variance?
Um,
You set the length or precision
Used
at 4
when
versus
being specific
char 4. You get what you
uh,
get what I'm trying to ask in that
about
question?
the characters. So say, like for example, gender abbreviations. Like for example, we can save male as male and female as female. You can use character of one to save it instead because we are now specific of we've already known the number of characters we want to save, and instead of using the varchar you can just use a char of character one, right? So we basically use when we already known number of characters that we want to save, or when we are being specific about the number of characters that we want to save. So varchar is just basically giving you a free will. It's just basically giving um open to possibilities. Let me put it that way. Open to possibilities that this particular information that we're about to save
Hmm.
can in one way or the other be more than this specific number of characters. And in other words, let's just use a voucher of I like using 50 length of 50 characters because I never know, I can never predict. So let's say for example, we want to store their Gmails. We don't know who has a very long Gmail, and then we might start having issues when we want to store the user's information because obviously their Gmail is longer than the length of characters that we already pre-designed to accumulate, and it's causing an issue. So we people really use this actually. They use the voucher instead. Um, but then it's also
Yeah.
very important, and it's important to know the difference actually. Very important. Okay, so are we good to proceed? All right. Okay. Then the next thing I should do.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for explaining that.
I've already added the employee ID, employee first name, their last name as well, and last underscore name. Okay, last underscore name, and character variant as well. Then length of position 50 and not null,
Mhm.
and then the position, their position in the particular company, and you can make it a virtual as well, character variant. So there's also one thing I need to point out. Uh, in a DBMS, because like I said, this is a DBMS. Each and every DBMS has their own way of saying the same thing. Like for example, this character variant is called varchar in MySQL. I use MySQL a lot basically. That's why I call it a varchar. And I'm going to show you. Um, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Just give me a moment to try to make sure my SQL is kind of hanging. So I want to show you what I mean. The So as you can see, I don't know if you can see it clearly. Varchar is called character variant in Postgres, but it's called a varchar in my SQL. Sorry, yeah. So as you can see, it's called Vacha with the character of
Excuse me.
60, and it's
Oh,
called,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm good.
yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. But this is my SQL. But for
The
Postgres,
retro character.
it's kind of set
Set to
differently,
60,
but they
right?
are all saying the
The
same thing
quotations is the
basically.
left. Set to
So
60.
they are basically
The
saying the
sex
same
set to
thing.
90. Gotcha.
So position, let's say this character
Mm-hmm.
of let's make it a length of 20. Then we have the higher date, which is supposed to be a date data type, and obviously it should not
Position.
be empty because we need to know when a particular person is being hired. And then we are done with the employees information as well. Then we move to the product details. Are we on the same page? Because I'm about to press save. All right. Then
Yeah,
we
I
read
got
the table
everything.
names.
Employee
Yeah.
ID, first name, last name, position, hire date. Yep, the date.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I got
Where
everything.
is our table? All right. All right. So we have our customer details, we have our employee information here, and then we also want to get the product information as well. Like I said, this is a business URL diagram. It's more like the business um, structure of a particular business company. So trying to think of a way to explain this better. Okay, yeah. Let's just move on though. We are going to understand it when I'm done with the relationship and everything. I'm going to explain it better. So you have the customers information, the employees information. Then move on to the products informations, and I'm going to name it products, right? Then move on to the column. Yeah. So okay. No, no, it didn't disappear actually. So you're going to drag it. It was like this. So you're going to drag the
All right,
first
hold on,
drag the
Stanley.
table
You got
out.
two. You got two
Yeah,
tables
exactly.
on there.
So
I only
drag
got
it
one
outside.
table here. My previous table disappeared.
Okay.
Oh, it's layered.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Why would they layer it?
All right. So are we good to move on? All right. So I can increase the size as well. Oh, I don't know if I can. Okay. Except if I adjust.
Yeah, make sure I gotta. My Trump, my station
I
looks
can
like
increase the
yours.
size of the area diagram to make it
Oh,
bigger.
yep.
Uh, that's also possible. So I just my. Okay, so are we on the same page? Should I move on? Then we have uh, products category basically. Just like the superstore data set in Excel that we were working on, it has products name, products category. So what
Mm-hmm.
category did the particular product fall on? So it's also character variant, and obviously some can be like uh 20 length of 20 of position and not null, and the price of products. So it's going to be an integer and not null, as well as the stock quantity. So the available stock, like stock underscore quantity. So it's not going to be an integer as well. And then you move on to the next, which is the order table, as well as the other, as well as the okay. Then move on to the orders table and the order details table, and then we drag it to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that everything is in order. Okay, so yes. So I use the short keyword of Alt Control A to create to want to create a new table. So we have the order details, right? Is it the order details or the orders? I'm trying to check. Okay, this is the employee products customer. So this is the order table, orders table. So you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have the order ID. So order underscore ID, and it's going to be a primary key and not null, and it's going to be an integer. Sorry, it's going to be an integer. And then we have the other dates. All right.
It's called order ID.
Yes, exactly.
It's going to be an integer. Order date.
and the total amount of
It's gonna be a
orders.
date.
So we have the total amount of orders as well. And I'm going to create it. Exactly.
Total
All right.
order
All right. So primary
be
key is
an
basically
integer.
what uniquely identifies a particular role. For
One more
example, in
time,
this
go over the
particular
primary
scenario,
key
we
again.
have, and
I
if you
understand the
noticed,
null, the
every
not
other
null.
tables we're creating,
Primary key.
the order ID is most times used as the primary key. It allows us to uniquely identify each particular order. So for example, we have list of orders. Well, let's say you want to get a particular information about a specific order. Let's say, for example, um, a particular order placed by me. We have an order ID, right? But we have to make it such that I'll be the only one. My order will be the only order with that specific ID, such that it can be easy to track the total amount of money made on that particular order. So that is what a primary key does. It's just like your employee ID, your name tag basically. In fact, yeah, your name tag basically, or your matric number, anything that uniquely identifies you, so that your details can be tracked. Exactly. Exactly.
Gotcha. With the order ID, you can pull up the date. You can pull up who bought it, how much it was, how much they bought. You can't necessarily do that with order date. You have to identify. You have to
We
identify
can't hear you.
the as something. Especially the ID key because everything
Is it just me, or is your voice
you're looking for
breaking?
nationwide.
Yeah, I can
You
hear you
hear
now. But it's still breaking though. But I can hear you now clearly, more clearly than before. Than before. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Let me repeat what I said. I said so. I get where you're going with and it's only going to be one primary key per table, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
this is the base of this is the primary key being the order ID is where you can gather all the
Perfect.
information from.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can gather
One table,
everything
one
else
primary
from
key.
this order ID. Okay, I
We will
I
still
get I
discuss
get where you're
about the
going.
foreign key though. We are getting to the
And
foreign
again,
key.
there's only going to be one
Against the foreign
primary
key.
key
So
per
it's
table.
just one of the things that is very very important in joining the relationship and
Okay,
establishing the relationship that we discussed
got
earlier.
you.
And like I said, I'll be sending the slide. I'll be dropping the slide as well to make sure we fully understand it. Okay, so we have the total amount here.
Hmm.
Total underscore amount. But this is not a
Yeah,
pricing though. We have total
got you.
amount of orders placed in a particular specific period of time. Okay, my amount spelling is wrong. Yeah, I think that's the spelling. Yeah, that's the spelling. And it's going to be an integer as well. And it's not going to be empty. And then drag it, where we can see it. And then we have the other details. All right.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on, hold on,
they are
Steven, hold
tables
on.
basically. They are entities, not
Maybe
charts.
I'm missing
We call
something.
it entities.
Order ID, date, total amount. Okay, I got that. So you got four charts. Okay. My fault. Tables. Yes,
All right.
entities. My fault. So
Okay.
customer, product,
All right.
order, employee.
Then it
Okay.
remains the other details. And I'm also going to be explaining each of these tables
Okay. I'm
one
just
after
trying
the
to.
other. Okay, let
I'm
me
just
even
placing
begin now.
connection to everything
We
that
have
we're
the
doing right now. Okay,
customer
I got it.
entity or customer table. Obviously, it contains the customer information and it has the customer ID, which is trying to identify each customer. So we can get a specific information about a particular customer. For example, me, let's say for example, Stan,
Mm-hmm.
I bought something, in the company and they want to keep track of my own personal details, they can just check my ID because obviously I will not be the only one bearing Stan um that is getting something in their company, because obviously Stan is a name and thousands of people can have the same name bearing Stanley or Stan, whatever it is. So we cannot use the name to track my transactions. So instead they will use the ID tag that they gave to me to check my details information. Then you have my first name, the last name, and the email. So this is the email that the customers are dropping when it comes to their personal informations. All right. Then we have the product details, which contains the product ID. Like I said again, the primary key uniquely identifying each product, the name of the product, the category in which the product falls in. For example, is it a furniture category? Is it an kitchen utensils category? Is it a technology category? The price and the integer is the data type. The stock or quantity, this is just the quantity of the quantity of of goods bought at that particular moment, and then the employee ID as well, the employee details basically, and then we have the other details, the amount of orders bought as well, and then the final one, which is the other details. Then goes to our colon, we add our colon, and we also have our other underscore detail underscore ID, and it's going to be a primary key and not null, and quantity, and then our last colon or attribute, unit price, and this is going to be an integer, and an integer. All right. Then the first stage has been established. Okay, are we on the same page? Other details. It's other details. We've done the other entity, which is the one we did.
And this entity is order, right? Right. I was about to say that. Let me just double check that I got everything that you got right there. Order detail ID. Into this. I'm interested to see how all of this stuff is going to come together. Quantity, also an integer. It can't be a character.
All right. Then
Unit
click on
price. It's
save,
also an integer,
and
which it can't
then
be a character.
Now the
All right, we're
next
on the
thing we
same
need to do is
page.
to establish relationships. And so obviously, a customer can have as many orders as possible, right? Like one customer can have as many orders as possible. Is not tied to
Mm-hmm.
get just one product. So this is one to many. So you click on this
Right.
and okay. So using an under ID referencing table, customer referencing colon customer ID. Okay, so I'm coming. I need to cross check what I'm doing. All right. So local colon basically because okay, let me go back to the beginning. We want to establish
Oh,
a one to
show me how you
many
got there
relationship
again.
between
It kind
orders
of
and
it kind of
customer. So
stopped
you
and then
click
just
on
picked
this
up.
um click on these orders, right? Click on these orders, right? And click on one to many. So local colon is the order ID because it's the primary key. Yes,
I can't see where your mouse is. Okay, I can see. One
exactly.
to many.
One to m represents one to many.
Let me follow.
And I can't hear you again.
Relationship one to one,
Can hardly hear you.
many.
Yes, so you click on order ID and reference table, referencing the customer
Okay,
table,
table
and it should be customer ID.
the local table
All right,
information.
okay. So you're using the order ID, right? Right, okay,
Help the screen before you
yes.
move forward.
And you're referencing the customer table because, like I said, we are trying to establish a relationship between the customers and the orders, right? Can you still hear me? All right, all right. So you click on the customer, right? And you are referencing the customer, you are referencing the primary key of the customer table, right? So you click on customer ID and you want to click on
Mm-hmm.
save.
Yeah, I can hear
So
you.
can we do that?
Click on save. Customer,
Yes, exactly.
customer ID. All right, so from orders, right? Because local table is gonna be where information is coming from, right? Like your key. Then it's gonna then okay, local table is gonna be where the
All
information is
right,
coming from. You're
but
pulling the
okay.
orders.
Okay,
Then
there is a
local
mistake
column
though.
is gonna get an order
Uh,
ID, right? Because
let's go back.
the local table
We
has
need
the
to we need
order
to add the foreign
ID,
key here
right?
manually. We didn't add the
Customer
foreign
ID.
key. Can you hear
All
me?
right, hold on. Let me ask.
All right. So we need to add the. Okay. So
And I just want to phrase it right fast.
all right.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
want to
The
explain
local table
something.
that we're using is customers.
So
I
unlike
can hear you. If you said
MySQL,
something, I couldn't hear what you just
my
said. If
I
you
said
just said
my
something,
my SQL
but I
is
can hear you.
also
I
an
can hear you when you just
RDBMS.
asked me now.
It doesn't involve you to try to manually
Go
create
ahead. Explain what
the
you say.
foreign
What you're
key.
trying to say, man.
But in this particular scenario, we are going to be creating the foreign key ourselves. So the primary key of this order ID, Let me check if I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, the primary key of this customer ID, like this customer ID, needs to be in this other ID as well. So it's going to be serving as a
Mm-hmm.
foreign key. So I'm going to be doing that as well. I'm going to colons and I'm going to add colon. So I'll be like customer underscore ID, and it's going to be an integer, right? And it's going to be not null. Well, this time around, it's not going to be a primary key.
All right. ID. ID.
Then you click on save,
My ID is also going to be an integer.
right? Then you click on your orders table, right? Click on your orders table and you go back to this one to many relationship.
Okay.
Then local colon. This time around, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
be selecting customer ID and you are referencing the customer table
Mm-hmm.
and then you click on customer ID. So as you can see, there is a match. And this customer ID that is in this orders
Mm-hmm.
table is serving as a foreign key. So it's allowing the orders table to be relating with the customer tables. So it's more like a foreign key like that. The primary key of an entity is present inside another entity is a foreign key.
Oh, so when reference table, you're gonna reference the customer table, the customer entity that we just created, and this link of customer local column with customer ID should be the same as the column in of customer ID in the table
Yes.
in a customer
Yes,
entity,
exactly.
right? Let me rephrase that sounded like word soup. The order the table that is our key, that is our starting point,
Exactly.
right, is order.
Exactly.
In
Exactly.
that order column, we're gonna reference the customer ID as the same customer ID in the customer's entity. It should be the same, right? Is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. So anything that involves,
Okay.
trying to reference and trying to
Okay.
map out relationships,
So if you want
the
to
the
reference
colon,
something else,
the
do
primary
you have to
key
have the
in
same
specific, the primary key
column in
of
both
that entity must be
entities?
present in the primary key of the other entity. So, for example, this is the parent. In this case, customer is the parent, right? The primary key of the parent must be present in the primary key of the child, right? So in that case, the primary key of the parent
Gotcha.
is now serving as the foreign key. As you can see, this customer ID
Mm-hmm.
this is now a foreign key, as it is now allowing us to join these two tables together. Like it's trying to map out the relationship together. I'm still going to drop a slide. I feel like I'm not explaining this, you know, um, I'm not explaining this.
Gotcha.
Uh,
No, no, you are. You're explaining it right, and I understand what you're saying. I just have to me, I'm trying to place the connections. That's why I'm kind of
yeah,
like
exactly.
asking these questions that may be a little simple but easy to resolve because I'm just trying to place the connection because I'm noticing this to be like this step is attached to the next step. In the beginning, it may be a whole bunch of different pieces, but this step is attached to the next step. And I notice in SQL, the language is easy to understand. The process you have to fully
No, no,
grasp
no,
the
you're right,
process.
actually.
It's not like Excel
Yeah,
where
exactly. Yeah,
you get the
SQL is
gist.
more. Yeah,
The
exactly.
gist
You're right.
isn't gonna get
And
you
yeah.
the results that you want to get in SQL. If I'm wrong, then correct me. You have to like understand fully the process.
Mhm. Okay.
It's a little bit more technical. Okay,
So I'm
I'm
trying to
where you
check
are.
something. It should be uh okay. Well, let's just move on. Actually, let's just move on. And then we have relationship between orders and order details. So one orders can have many order details, and I've explained that. Okay. So for example, let's think about the supermarket where a customer visits the store and wants to buy laptop, for example, and a keyboard. So although he bought like both the laptop and keyboard, but he only made one purchase. Like they are like together in a particular order. Like he bought two different no
Hmm.
two different goods, but it's just on one order. Like is they were bought at the same time by a particular customer. That is why they said one order can have many other details. So do you understand that part, or should I explain? So just like buying three different products, but it's still it's still an order. Like it's still a particular order. Like each product has their own individual. Okay,
No,
you're
I
going to
understand.
supermarkets, for example, and you ordered cookie, Pringles, and another snack, whatever. And those three snacks has their separate informations, right? Having different order details, but they are still under a particular specific order. So
Hmm.
exactly, exactly. So in this scenario,
Right.
the
So if
the
you wanted
order
to
the order's
connect
primary key
entity
will be in
order
the
to
order details
entity order
table as
details,
well.
you would have to connect it through the order ID. Okay.
So we are going to be doing that. Trying to cross check.
Hmm.
Yeah, but when
Hmm.
we do that, you have to edit this
Hmm.
order details table and add the order ID colon order ID primary key as well.
So you got to click
So it's just
order
going to
and
be
click one
referencing
to
it
M,
as a
right?
foreign key. So you go to colon. No, no, no. They are different. Other detail ID uniquely identifies its table. So other details ID is working for this particular other details table.
That's not the
Other
same as the
ID
order detail
is
ID?
this. So other details basically is just like a more a more granular details of the order information. While others is just the order date, the order ID, total amount orders. But this one is kind of more more granular. Mhm.
Gotcha.
Then you go to the other details. Okay. Then you click on edit table colon, and you're going to write other for ID, and it's going to be an integer, not null. Okay. Then I'm going to click on it again, and you click on one to many, and you want to work on local colon. This sorry. You're going to click on others table, right?
Hmm.
Click on one to many. Local colon is other ID, referencing the other details and other ID. Okay, it should be one to many. Okay, I made a mistake. Yeah. There is a mistake though. It should be one to many, not one to one. I'm trying to back it. It's not kind of backing.
Got you. All right, yeah, I'm kind of getting it. I'm kind of getting it.
Alright. So you have the other ID referencing the other details. I think it should be. I think it
Okay.
should be the way forward. It should be the way forward. Sorry. Uh,
ID,
it should be
order
uh
details, order ID.
local
Save.
colon. Okay, I'm almost one. Confusing myself. I'm coming. I'm trying to check something. Uh, this should be one to many. Then other ID. Reference to other details. And should be other ID. Should be one to many. I'm coming. I'm trying to figure out something. I'm getting I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting. So uh, so you can just hold on till I figure out what is going on. If I see the other ID, the pressing colon should be the other ID as well. And see and other ID. Exactly. It's not it's not saved. It's stuck somewhere. Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. Other ID. I'm referencing the other details and I'll get the other ID. Sorry. See almost someone is getting it's giving me we want more relationship. Let's see what wants me. Okay. Okay. Or perhaps probably just run it backwards. Okay, us D. Let me delete this and then go back to this. Edit. Let me delete this and let me do it backwardly and go back to the other table and add the other underscore details. Okay, underscore detail underscore ID and it's going to be an integer. So, save. Then click on this and one to many. Now they do referencing the others. Underscore ID. Still same thing though. I'm not getting what I want. I think I know what to do with control shift. Let's delete it.
Oh.
So I'm trying to figure out why.
Damn.
Not so many. I'm actually trying. Okay. Trying to go again.
Oh,
Um,
Jesus. God.
something like that. Cool. What is that customer thing? Okay, I might have to start all over again. I deleted our customer table by mistake, and I'm coming. Um, let's, create my new customer table. Okay, so give me some moments while I customers. I want you
Yeah,
to do
take
the
your time, man.
relationship. Then you click on the referencing table. Do you want me to do it again? All right, all right. Let me delete. Yes. So if you want to delete, you click on the string and press Alt
Yeah, please.
Control D to delete.
Because when I try to do the reference, it only connected one line. Your bottom has multiple lines, but this only has one.
Control D.
Mm-hmm. Click on the string.
Yeah. So it's going to pop up. Yeah. All
Alt
right. So
Control
and
D.
you go to your order details, right? These order details, and you double
Click
click
on
on
the
the order details
string.
basically. If you double click on it,
Alt
the
Control
editor is going to
D.
pop up. Click on colon
Okay,
and
cool.
create a new colon called order underscore
Yep.
ID. which is basically going to be serving as a foreign key.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can hear you. Which is basically going to be serving as a foreign key. Have you created the colon? All right. So then, you click on the other details, right? You go to this one to many relation, click
Stanley, can
on
you hear
it,
me?
and you go to select under underscore ID. And we're
Okay.
referencing others, right? And click on
Yep.
other
Yep.
underscore ID, and then click on OK. And the
Mm-hmm.
relationship has been successfully established.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are good to go. So let me know when you've done that. So you can proceed. Yeah, this can.
Click order details, local column order ID. We're referencing orders, the referencing table orders, reference column order ID. Okay. And hit save. Okay. Got it.
Okay,
Got it.
okay. Let
Got
me
it.
go to
Got
my
it. Got
Chrome
it.
so I
Got
can
it.
see your
Got it.
screen.
Okay. All right.
I'm coming.
Let's move this.
Let's so open my.
Let's make sure I'm seeing the same thing. All right. Now look at my
Okay. All right. All right.
so I have this
Okay.
on the back side of
So
my. Let
okay.
me just move it. Oh, okay, okay. Never mind, never mind, never mind. For some reason,
So are we able to
it just put it on the
continue?
other
Are
side.
we good to
Okay, yeah, we
continue?
good, we good.
Yeah. Under the other section as well, we want the employee details. The employee ID added to the other column as other table as well. So you double click on the others table, right? And
Hmm.
you're going to click on the colon and you're going to add employee underscore ID, and it's going to be an integer employee underscore ID, and it's going to be an integer. And you're going to click it on not null, and then you save. And then you want to establish a relationship between
Employee
the employees and the
underscore
others.
ID.
So basically,
It's
the
gonna be
employees
an
are the one in charge
integer.
of taking care of the other section, and
Mm-hmm.
theoretically,
Mm-hmm.
you click on employee because it is the recipient. Like other is the one in charge of the relationship, so employee is the recipient. So theoretically,
So
one
would you click on
employee
employee
can
or would you
handle
click
as
on
many
orders
others as
to
possible.
establish that connection?
So you click
You
on
click
one
on
to
the
many and
gotcha.
select other ID. Okay, okay. Sorry, you click on others. That was a mistake. You click on others and you click on other underscore.
Gotcha.
What am I doing? It's Yeah, you click on others and you click on employee ID.
Hmm.
Then you are referencing employee
Okay, yeah.
and employee ID. Exactly. And
You don't want too
yeah,
many from
okay.
orders,
You can
employee
see
ID to the
this
table
arrow is getting
employee,
many.
and you reference employee ID and hit save.
So I'm
So,
trying to reduce the size so I can
okay, yes, yes, yes,
align it
yes,
better.
yes.
All right, so I'm trying to do some editings um, to beautify it basically. It's not saying personal, and you can do the same as well. Your preference, but I just felt it's more presentable. Because obviously you're also going to present it to the manager in charge when you want to report your you know your information that okay, this is how our data, this is how
Mm-hmm.
our information are going to be stored, and you want to explain to them everything you are doing basically, and if possible write a document, and I'm also going to be showing us how to write the documents basically. All right, then there should be one more relationship to establish. Three, four, okay. Yeah, the products and the other details. So like obviously one product, yeah, exactly. So one product can have as many other details as possible. Like, yeah, one product can have as many other details as possible. So uh
The product and the order details.
so under the under details, yeah, you're going to have product ID. So you're going to add the product ID as well. Yeah,
So
getting
we're
it
gonna
basically. Yeah, it's the
do
same thing
order
you are saying.
details,
Yeah.
order
So we're
detail
going to add the
ID
product underscore ID,
to product or
and you want to
product
select the
ID
integer and not null,
to order details.
and then save. Then
Product
click on
underscore ID.
yeah from other details exactly.
Integer.
And I'm trying to look for the okay.
No, no. Then save.
Exactly.
And we referencing from order details, right? Not from product. All right, so click order
Yeah.
detail, 1 to M, product ID
All right. So
to the product table,
okay.
product
And this is our
ID,
ER diagram. So next
and save.
is the we are going to report on what to
Okay.
rating, which is basically how we are going to be storing our information, and the client or the manager needs to know. So since I'm going to first of all snap this journey. Next to um let me do this one. I'm coming just a little bit. I am on to snap this. Okay. I'm also going to take screenshots and paste it somewhere so I can copy it later and do not this. Um, Alright. Okay. Yep, that works. Okay. So now I'm going to be writing. Now I'm going to be writing a report on this PR diagram, which is basically going to be discussing on how the information is being saved. So I'm going to open my Word documents, and I'm going to uh, okay. So I'm going to title it. Okay, let me go back to my own. I'm going to title it entity relationship diagram. And I'm going to make it align to the center. So trying to think of something. So I'm going to just make up a business company. So basically what the company does is that it sells products, it sells electronic products such as okay, maybe I should just write it. Okay, well, the company, let me write on my screen. Sorry. Okay, company basically sells. Oh, I don't think there's any to do that. I don't think there's any to do that. I only want to establish relationships. So the company obviously has customers, and the company needs to store every customer information, right? I'm gonna go back to my PG admin, which includes their customer name, their customer ID, the first name, the last name, and the Gmail. And basically, this entity was created because um let's say a particular customer, let's say John, visits the store and buys the laptop, and the next week he came to buy another product without the customers table being created. We will not have we will not have a track of all of our customers, and you might even end up re-entering, like receiving John's information, and leading to inconsistency and duplicated entries, right? And then we have the employee details as well. So you don't really have to write a report though. Sometimes you get the PowerPoint presentation, but most times you get to write a report. And we have the employee details, and employees are responsible. Okay,
Hmm.
so we want to know which employee handled each sale and how many sales has each employee made. So at least that can be even used to determine the employee salaries, and that works as well. So which employee generated the highest revenue? So we get to, that's why we need the employee information, because we need to, keep track of the employees as well, not just the customers. For our business to grow, we need to keep track of both the customers and the employees as well. And that's why we save their employee ID, which is their unique identifier, their first name, the last name, their their position, as well as their hire dates. And then we get to go to the product informations, and then the other details. Now the reason why, and now I'm going to talk about the relationships now, establishing the relationships. Now the customer can visit the store many times. So for example, let's use John again. We bought laptop today, printer next week, and mouse next month. So that's the relationship between customers and orders basically. Okay.
Mhm.
So we can say that John appears once in the customer table but has three different orders, right? So that is why we said that one customer can have as many orders as possible, because the customer can, keep on buying products from the company even more than once. Okay, let me write it down, because I need to, okay, let me just save